Nazywam się Mirosław Maj, reprezentuję Fundację Bezpieczną Cyberprzestrzeń. W agendzie macie Polska Armia, cyberarmia ochotników, natomiast zaczynamy w ogóle od tego, żeby przedstawić, jak to jest na Łotwie, bo chcielibyśmy, zanim przejdziemy do dyskusji na temat tego, czy i jak organizować coś takiego w Polsce, chcielibyśmy przedstawić model łotewski. Natomiast tych wszystkich, którzy są zainteresowani tematem, mam nadzieję, że będzie to dużo osób, zapraszam jutro w godzinach przedpołudniowych, przed lunchem, gdzie będziemy mieli troszeczkę więcej czasu na to, żeby opowiedzieć o pierwszych pomysłach na tę ideę, jeżeli chodzi o to, jak to zrobić w Polsce, i będziemy mieli też panel dyskusyjny mam nadzieję, z bardzo szerokim waszym udziałem, żeby wysłuchać, co sami wy myślicie na ten temat. Natomiast w tej chwili oddaję głos naszym przyjaciołom z Łotwy, którzy opowiedzą o tym, jak ta inicjatywa wygląda na Łotwie. Gatis, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Gatis GRAUDINS. I'm the commander of the Cyber Defense Unit of the National Guard of Latvia. Let's say, first of all, I understand that in Poland there are no such thing as a voluntary military force like National Guards. Yes, no? Informal, but they are not tied to the military, right?
I'm not sure what you're asking about. We have something like voluntary reserve forces, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, I am speaking about the militarized force who can provide assistance when it is needed. Let me start with the motivational slide of the cyber realm of Latvia. As you can see, there are a lot of institutions who are responsible for a lot of things to go around, but there is also this little box here. It's called Cyber Defense Unit of Latvia. Our two main clients are the CERT LV, who are responsible for overall picture of the, let's say, internet situation in Latvia, and National Armed Forces. And the Cyber Defense Unit of Latvia is part of the National Armed Forces. National Guard is one of the, let's say, with the land forces, Navy, Air Force, and also there is National Guard. Let's not mix this with the reserve, because the voluntary forces, they have their tasks in the peacetime, they have their tasks in the wartime. They are not like called in to fill in the blank spaces when something happens. Okay. Did you read have you had the opportunity to read the book of Arthur Haley, The Airport? Anyone? Right. So, what happens when there is a snowstorm in the airport, a blizzard? You have just a couple of snow tracks, not a couple of probably dozens, but the snowstorm is going on and on and on. What happens with the airport? Excuse me? Well, airport closes. And all the flights are redirected to another airports. Let's talk about what happens when really bad situation happens in the cyber space in the country. You cannot just shut down the country. You just cannot say, well, it's winter and everybody is freezing. Well, go to the other country and get your warmth there. You have to stand your ground. As I showed before, many institutions are responsible for many different things, but there are just so many resources of the country they can provide, and there are just so many people who can do that. Nobody prepares for the worst case scenario for everyday situation. But when the crisis struck, what happens? You need a reserve. In cyber, in Poland, what is the reserve? CERT of Poland ran out of the resources. Army ran out of the resources. What happens? Who comes in? Who can answer me that? Okay. Well, the model in Latvia was that we want to provide the opportunity for the talented people to give their share for the state security, but not interrupt with their everyday life. We don't want to call them to the military, pay them 5 times less, and say you have to do this and that. We don't need them every day, but when something happens, we need them. So you have to do something in the really smart manner how to involve them. Because if there is critical infrastructure in danger, do you really want someone from the street come in and help you? No. You have to check their background. You have to check their skills. You have to know what they can do and cannot do. So the model in Latvia is based on the platform of the National Guard of Latvia. As you can see, the legislature was already there before we started to create this unit. National Guard of Latvia is an integral part of the National Armed Forces with aim to involve citizens of the Republic of Latvia in the protection of the state, I mean land, territory, and the interests of the society. Cyber realm falls under this interest of the society pretty neatly, right? So, what is the main reasons for the people to join this? As I already mentioned, one is to give some contributions to the state security. You live here, you like this country, you want to stay, you want to stand your ground. So this is patriotism. You want to devote maybe some time apart from your business and your family for the country. You are a volunteer. Participation during free time. What we do, we have our exercises, trainings, and we fulfill our tasks at the evenings of the working days and on the weekends. State compensates participation up to 30 years per day, so it's like 3 days per month. I think everyone understands what the situation is, and I think everyone can devote 3 days, like let's say 2 evenings of the working days and 1 weekend day to the security of their country. Yeah, compensates. It's not a lot, just gas money and to have your lunch. Yes, yes.
Wszystkie osoby, które chcą skorzystać z słuchawek i z tłumacza, zapraszam tutaj przed wejściem. Można odebrać słuchawki.
Can I go on? Thank you. The difference between professional army and the National Guard of Latvia is that the participation in the international missions is voluntary. As a professional soldier, as I am for nearly 22 years, if a country sends me somewhere, I have to go there. National Guardsman can choose if he wants to participate or not. Well, and the main point here is that possibilities to build synergies among various different professions using their knowledge and experience. So we will never be able to pay talented people in cyber to be a full-time army guys. But we can involve them, we can train them, we can provide them participation in the very interesting military exercises. As a civilians, they will never get into those, but I can assure you there are many interesting things going on. As I already mentioned, the main task, we have 2 main clients, CERT-LV, civilian sector, and the National Armed Forces. If something happens in the civilian sector, in critical infrastructure, somewhere where the CERT-LV team cannot deal with, they ran out of the resources. They call us and say, do you have this expertise? can you provide this and this much people for this problem? Or a whole structure is tailor-made and task-based. I don't have like structure with different sections and responsibilities. These are officers and these are NCOs, non-commissioned officers. I have just a pool of the people, experts with some kind of the skills. And when the task is given, I look at the capability catalog and I see, okay, I need this guy, this guy, and this guy. This guy is not available. He has some kind of business in Australia. So you have to build this force larger than you anticipate something will happen, because with the voluntary force, not all the time all the people are available. Most of the tasks you need a team of 5, 6 guys, but you cannot base your all operation of the 5 or 6 really talented guys. Maybe they're not available at this time. You need 10 times more, maybe 20 times more, because this guy is not available, this one is. Well, this is a little overview of how we created our unit. As you all probably know, we woke up in 2007 when the large DDoS attacks hit Estonia, and later in the 2008 there were really good signs that state-sponsored attack hit Georgia. So we started to think about it. It takes some time to work with the decision makers, to work with the politicians, to build up the positive energy around the idea. And only in 2012 we started the formal situation analysis. In February 2013, Ministry of Defense said, yes, the concept is good. We need this kind of unit, we need reserve, and they formally announced that this unit will be created, and we started to looking for key people. Actually, I have 2 of my cyber guards here today. Alexander's is here, and Eric's probably wandering around. Okay. The key people, 3 or 4 key people who are opinion leaders within the community. You need to explain them the concept. They need to be devoted to it. They need to be patriotic. And I was lucky that I could find this team. Okay, July 2013, the paperwork, a lot of administrative issues with Army, of course, but that's my problem, not theirs. In February 2014, unit was fully established, personal equipment tables approved, we started purchases, we started training, we started to make plans and all this nice stuff what the Army does. And in January 2015, we are now almost fully equipped. We have our premises, we have the place where the people can come at every day or every night and work on the issues they've been given to or they want to. Of course, there are some control element because it's military, but what I am trying all the time to do is usually we don't have enough resources to train our infantry for the infantry tasks. And this is what I am saying all the time to the Chad, to the Minister of Defense. We don't need to train these guys to be infantry guys. Of course, we have some military stuff going on, but they just have to know how to defend themselves. They will never work as an infantry unit and fulfill some tasks. Well, in Latvia, we decided that we need a small unit of 98, but actually the interest for this unit is really exploded, and we are thinking that we would need to increase this number of the staff role because the very foundation of the National Guard is the National Guard accepts everyone who can and is willing to participate. Of course, there are some restrictions. As in military, you have to be in some kind of physical shape, I mean medically. But those requirements for the National Guardsmen are not that harsh. You cannot have criminal record. Don't go there, don't start that, because of course they are, we all have our skeletons, of course, but don't start with the people who are really talented but with the criminal record. You will never see end of it, because you will be dragged into continuous problems, and this can taint all the project. And yes, well, yes, please.
The question is about the selection of the candidates and selection of the volunteers. What about the formal process? I'm asking how these volunteers going through any kind of the formal process to identify whether are they able to maintain different security, let's say, credential levels, or are they able to keep the secret information under control or something like this?
I was just about to tell you about this. As I started to say, in Latvia, in our model, we decided that everyone in this unit needs security clearance, national and also EU and NATO security clearance, because secret, the second one, yeah, the red one. NATO secret, EU secret, and national secret. Okay. Because one thing is that in military exercises, it's not that common, but sometimes you need this clearance. And if you cannot go to the exercises, it's all stops there. And the other thing is when something really bad happens, will you really want to let someone from the street to touch some kind of the systems if they're not checked? Of course, something happens, and I don't know, in Poland, Minister of Defense comes to you and says, you have talent, we need help. And, well, 1,000 people says, we want to do that, and so on and so on. You don't have time for the security clearance checking and everything. You just let them in, and it could be even worse than not doing anything. So, and also, we are communicating with the public to the media. We're giving out the information about the exercises. We're giving out the information about what we are doing. We have one point of contact, email. The person who is interested, he writes, I've heard about the unit. I'm interested. Can you tell me more about it? And then we start communicating. We are giving them all the requirements how to join National Guard, what they have to do, what they shouldn't do. The next step is we are giving them to fill like online questionnaire about their technical skills. We call that declared capabilities. The person fills out the online questionnaire, really detailed about what he can do, what he cannot do. Okay, declared capabilities. Next step is we are trying them out in our internal exercise. We are seeing how they are communicating with the other team members, what they can contribute. But that not necessarily mean that we will push them away if they are like a first-year student of IT. No, because when we are doing some tasks, there are, of course, a lot of the dirty work as well. And they want to be with the guys who are more experienced, who don't want to do that on their free time. So I would say our unit consists of the 3 levels of the specialist. The first level is the expert in some kind of the field, in some kind of the problem, what is going on. Those guys are like 5 or 6%. The second largest group, I call them good system administrators. They are somehow involved with the security. They are doing some specific task. They are trained to do something, but they want to learn more and do more. We don't give basic IT knowledge. We involve people who has either formal education in IT or practical. And the third group is, as I already mentioned, those guys who are really eager to do something. They are students, or they are able to devote a lot of time to study, and those are like working bees. Okay, I already covered pretty much all of it. Yeah, well, 1 to 3 days. It's not that much, right? But if you need guys from some important exercise, your full-time guys are not available. Some kind of position is not filled. These guys come in. If you need to do some task, maybe not the really priority one, or the guys who are in every day are doing priority work, they want second opinion. They give us incident. Of course, they are sanitizing it out of all the sensitive information, but they're giving essence of the incident. And we are bringing together a team. We are looking at the incident, and we are giving them back the report, the information. And I can tell you, we had several of those, and as always comes out, if there are second opinion, there is new findings. Even for the really, really professional and talented guys. Yes, this is the framework of our training program. Our training program is based on that everyone in the unit need basic understanding and basic skill in every aspect of IT security. Basic understanding. But the goal is that in 1 or 2 in these areas, they are looking forward to become experts. But they need the basic understanding of everything else, so they can work with other experts, they can build a team, because probably you know that in IT world, teamwork sometimes is a problem. Because everyone has his ways, and I've seen several times that 5 guys working on the same problem from different angles and don't communicate. Military is good for this, because we're really strong to create something as a teamwork, and to communicate, to come forward and say, I'm at this place, and where are you, and so on. First year, when we started, we thought that, okay, we will have a lot of problems to organize our own events, our own exercises, and so on. But right now, in the NATO, in the European Union, and in other formats, like in Latvia, we have our partner state in the United States, it's Michigan. They already have really, really good exercises. And they're bringing us in. So in 1 year, we participated in 6 major exercises. Cyber Europe in technical and operational part, and Locked Shields, the really good technical exercise. Cyber Endeavor, United States led the exercise. Cyber Coalition, NATO exercise. This Stompe, this was a cyber paintball with the Michigan guys remotely. Great stuff. Okay, I'm slowly going to the conclusions. So, strengthening defense of the state and society. Well, I see a lot of talent. Probably some of you want to contribute something, but you just don't have the platform. You just don't have the opportunity to contribute to the state security and not interrupting your everyday life, your business, and your family. This is a good place to do that. Yeah, well, we have our joint exercises with the CERT-LV, MIL-CERT-LV, other state institutions. Latvia is a small country, everybody knows everyone, and we can organize these exercises like with the phone calls, and that's great. We also are participating in co-organization on the national cyber exercises led by CERT-LV and MIL-CERT. And what is the what is good for the employers? Because those guys who go through our unit and have their experience, they have their networking with other guys, they have their experience in the military exercises, they are bringing back the knowledge to the institutions. And I've been working a lot with the employers of the big companies and smaller companies and so on and so on. And most of them are really understanding and even like saying to their employees, maybe you want to join too. Well, it's beneficial. So enhancing security level for all. So this is actually our only point of contact. If you're interested, write us an email, we will answer. And as I said, stand your ground. You're not going anywhere. So somebody in the back of their mind thinks if something really bad happens, I will bring my family to the Sweden or somewhere and I'll be safe. Never happens. Stand your ground. And Alexander, want to add something? A little bit.
Just forgot to mention, there is as well Twitter account with same Cybersarks, so you can follow us in Twitter as well, just to check what's going on, including
was
picture
the only,
of this room.
Yeah, that was the only social media that the Ministry of Defense allowed us. Okay, are we supposed to accept the questions or? Yeah, please.
Hello, my name is Nazar. I'm from Ovas, Ukraine. I was like 2 days ago on presentation of Ministry Cybersecurity Unit of Ministry of Defense of Netherlands, and it was really terrible. So that your presentation looks really impressive, and that's probably because your country was like experiences this pressure from other countries. Let's call it other countries. Of cyber attacks, and what is interesting for me is to have cybersecurity unit. It's very important to have like attack and defense, so breakers and and defenders. You have.
I don't agree. Okay.
Let me clarify my thought. If you have, we already experienced in Europe, in Ukraine, that special cybersecurity units from other countries hacking like our ministries as well as Ministry of Defense. And if you have only IT staff in all ministries, in Ministry of Defense as well, you'll be not able to catch, to track, to identify these attacks, because very often people, just the normal employees of these ministries, they are not familiar with IT security. IT administrators are not familiar with how to perform investigation, or even do not monitor no log files, no application server, no databases activities, and so on. So it's very important to have centralized program, like security assurance program, to collect all these activities from all your ministries or your units into one central place and analyze behavior, anomalies, activities, and so on. And in your cybersecurity unit, you have only 4 persons who is full-time employees. So
right.
Are they all of them focused on analyzing logs, on analyzing behavior, activities, tracking if your ministries are hacked or no? So it's important to have this security information and even management system in place. So do you use something like this?
Okay, maybe I was not clear enough. A cyber defense unit is a force provider. We don't have everyday tasks. For those are all those other institutions. The cyber picture of the ministries and so on is a responsibility of the CERT-LV. We are coming in only on an invitational basis when some institution has reached their limits. They don't have enough expertise, they don't have enough personnel. So that's where, through the command of chain, they're asking us to come in. So those 4 full-timers, they're actually administrative people. Technical people are part-timers.
Okay, do you have some bug bounty program for like detecting some critical vulnerabilities in your Ministry of Defense infrastructure or something like this?
As I already said, we are not responsible for the administration of the Ministry of Defense or any institution.
Okay.
We are reserve. We are coming in when something really bad happens. When someone says, "I'm drowning," I'm done. I need help.
Okay, thank you.
Please.
I'm David. I'm a consultant for industrial IT security, and I have a bit of a provocative questions. Are you not in some way taking resources and maybe even more motivation away from the private sector? Because when I think of somebody running power plants or some provider of critical infrastructures, will they not say, we don't have to train our people too much, we don't have to build up our own team. If something really bad happens, we can always call the National Guard.
Well, not really. Well, it may seem this presentation may seem overly optimistic, probably for you, because we are not corrupting the free market. We are not going. We are not offering our services for the institutions, and the private sector will say we will do the penetration test for you or something like that. There is certain things laid out in the legislature in what cases we are going in. When we are invited, only.
Okay, my name is Wojtek, and I
Yeah.
have a question. Do you have to be Latvian citizen to join those forces?
Yes.
Okay, so what about, because I know there is a large population of people in Latvia who don't have Latvian citizenship. So
They have the possibility to gain the Latvian citizenship. If they didn't get it, they don't want it.
Okay, thank you.
There's a really kind of way to do that, and if they want to do that, so they don't want to be a Latvian citizen. It's not that hard, even for you, I think.
Hello, my name is Thomas. Did you hit any problems during security clearance, or did you reject some people because of the security clearance?
Okay, we are now in the process, because you know the acquiring of the security clearance is a long process. NCA, National Security Agency, and all those institutions, they take a lot of time to do that. Up until now, we didn't have any problems. But I think this is a success because in the process of admission to the unit, we are really in detail explain people what would be those cases when they cannot obtain the security clearance. So up until now, we're good. I foresee that there would be some kind of the problem because there always is. But still, in the other units of the National Guard, we are the only unit of the National Guard that needs security clearance. You cannot join our unit. Maybe you can join, I don't know, engineer battalion, like artillery battalion or something. They don't need security clearances. If you want to devote some time to the security.
Hi, my name is Dipankar. I work with UBS. My question is, in case of a wartime scenario, would you need an invitation to join, or do you do it voluntarily?
Very good, and this was actually the more provocative question than yours, because as you all, we talked about the security clearances. Of course, all the wartime plans are classified. There are plans in place, what we do and how we do it. But unfortunately, I cannot discuss it with you.
You mentioned about wartime plans. I meant when you're attacked, not necessarily attacking someone.
Well,
No, it was just a joke.
why I said I don't agree with that there are like defenders and attackers. There are no defenders and attackers. Everyone is attacker. Because if you want to defend something, you have to be attacker. So that is the answer. Official position of the Latvian country is that we have a cyber defense unit, and there are no planning documents or anything laid out in our legislature that would say that we could look at the scenario that we attack someone. This is an open answer for imagination, probably.
So you mean defense is the best form of attack, or offense is the best form of defense? That's that sort of a strategy. If you're threatened. I think we are.
In the classical military also there's defense, there's active defense, there's offense, and politicians can play with those terms. But I would say in the cyber more so than in the classical military, the attackers are in the really good place, resource-wise, and in any other wise. Because in the classical military, you know, there is a company in defense. You need 3 times more troops to attack them, 3 times more resources, and so by the book, and then you can hope that the attack will succeed. In cyber, attack is cheap. Defense is expensive.
I hope peace prevails and nothing happens. So
Well,
thank you. Thank you for your answer.
That's why we are here, deterrence.
My name is Grzegorz, and the first question is, do you think that relying on the volunteers makes sense during the crisis? And have you evaluated the risk, whether these people, for instance, can take care of their families instead of being involved in the tasks? This is the first question. And the second question is about the potential in Poland. So I don't know if we can ask the audience whether they have security credentials or not. Security credentials, secret or above, just to measure if this kind of initiative is possible in Poland within this kind of people.
We decided that the platform of the National Guard is the best one for us in every way. As I understand, there are no National Guard in the Poland. It's not a question about the platform. It's a question about how to, in attractive and possibly easy way, to bring people in to devote something to the state security. I don't have the ready answer for the Poland situation, but I think the discussions are going on, and you will find some way how to involve those people. And to answer your first question, of course we didn't test it, but something happens. But well, this is from the classified stuff already. Okay, we don't see that in the Baltics and in the Poland will be some kind of the overall frontal war. This will be some kind of the crawling. If it happens, I hope not. Crawling incidents coming in, incidents going out, and so on and so on. And as I like to say, the cyber is like modern artillery. In Georgia as well. Well, before the troops went in, there were cyber attacks. They're like preparing the ground. They're like preparing the mines, and so on. I don't see the situation where someone from my unit, but actually they understand the risks also. Someone from my unit would say that I need to run somewhere, because actually when we are doing our tests, who's available, I don't need them to come, like in classical military, I don't need them to come in the unit. They just need to answer, I have equipment, I'm connected, I can do something. So he can sit in Australia and do something.
Two questions. The first one is, what we understand that becoming a member of the organization is on a voluntary basis.
Always.
is the stepping down from the position of the member also on voluntary basis?
Yes. For the legislative, for the sake of the lawyers, they are signing the contract for 5 years. But stepping down from the position of the National Guardsman on the judicial side is very easy. He just writes to report to the commander of the National Guard, I have to leave the National Guard, the reasons are this and that. And if he wants to, we will let him go.
And the second question is, do you cover with your initiative only ICT security technical aspects, or maybe other ones like legal, or if not, are there any plans regarding
Really
this?
good question. Actually, the plan and concept was just to collect, just to bring together the technical guys. But really fast, we understood that we need also lawyers. We also need media specialists. We also need social engineering specialists, who are not always necessary technical guys in ICT. So these three professions are crucial, because in every exercise, in every task, there are always questions about the jurisdiction. As American counterparts always say, we have all the technical capabilities. These are only 20% of the problem. 80% of the problem, what we can and what we cannot do in the manner that nobody on the team gets hurt afterwards. I mean, like put in jail for something. So yes, lawyers, media specialists. We already have those. We already have those. Couple of those guys. We are that wasn't the initial plan, but we really fast understood that we need them.
Thomas from Czech Republic. Can you tell us whether, besides the exercises, were you involved in solution of some real incident, and if so, could you give us maybe some basic statistics and examples?
Okay. Last year we started to work with the CERT-LV, and as I already mentioned, they are sanitizing the real incidents. Sanitizing meaning bringing out all the commercial information, sensitive information, because the relationship between the CERT-LV and industry is based on mutual trust. Industry relies on the CERT-LV that they will not disclose some kinds of their secrets. So they are sanitizing the incidents and giving them to us. I'm not really, I think, allowed to talk about the numbers. But more than last year, let's say it's a 2-digit number. Please.
My name is Tomek. Besides taking part in the exercises and this introductory training, do you provide any other advanced trainings for your people to, for example, bring them up to the common level, or?
Yes, so we are using all kinds of opportunities in the military to send them to the different courses. We don't send them to the expensive civilian courses because military cannot pay for them. We are sending them to the military courses. They are participating in the exercises, and also what we discovered, and actually not discovered, but we were taking this from the Estonian guys, that within the unit, when you have your corps, there are so many specialists that you can have a lot of training, a lot of lectures within your unit. So everyone on the unit is obliged to give at least one 4-hour training or lecture per year. If you're not feeling really good at something, you have 1 year to study something. We are not like really enforcing this, but this is the roadmap for them. So you're joining the unit, you need to provide also some kind of training for other guys on the team. So we're using internal services, and only then we outsource. Of course, we outsource as well. The people for industry are interested to come in and give some kind of training or lectures. We are acquainting them with some military things, you know, a lot of stuff: information warfare, psychological operations, intelligence operations, I don't know, development of the robotics. Someone is a specialist in this one. Well, let's bring him in and discuss how this would influence the security in the future.
And one more question. We know that there are such units in the United States, in Great Britain, in Japan, in Latvia, and Estonia. Is there any platform of exchange of your experiences, or?
We don't have any ties with Japan. We have really close relationship with the Estonian Cyber Defense Unit. We have a close relationship with the Mission and National Guard cyber components, both on the air and on the land. We have on the information exchange level with the Lithuanians, information exchange level with the Germany. We started to be involved in some kind of see if we can do something with Ukraine. And now we're here. So because the last 2 years in the exercise Locked Shields, Poland was always above us. So here are some really talented
and
people.
And Cyber Europe too.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. So I think Latvia, Baltics, and Poland, they face the same regional threats. And not always the same things on the technical, but the agenda probably would be the same. And the thought process of decision makers, the operational level, how this is spread out to the technical guys. So I think this is a good opportunity for Baltics and Poland to work together in this, because Poland is a huge regional country. You have a lot of people, a lot of talent. So maybe we can share something and we can give something back to you as well.
Okay, my question. Hi, my name is Daniel, and I would like to ask about is there any public list of your staff members?
No.
So it's a state secret.
Well, it's not. It's not a secret unit. Let's say it's not a secret unit, but we have the policy. Everyone who don't want to be recognized in media or somewhere, we respect that. And for the other members of the team, is prohibited to release identities of the other members.
Okay, but you also mentioned that being in that kind of group is, let's say, beneficial for their employers. So do you provide any signed certificate or something like that that the current the employee is working for you?
Well, as I said, we don't provide we don't cover their identities. But covering the identity never works. Works something that we as a group come together and we decide, okay, we will not release this and we will not release that. If someone says, I work for the employer who has a lot of business in the East, and I don't really want that information that I'm in the unit to be in any way passed to the employer, passed to someone else. We are doing everything in our power to not to do that. But we are explaining them that there is a name tag. This is not a secret unit. This is not like special forces or something. So there is a risk. So they have to evaluate this and decide if they are willing to take that risk or not. What is that? 10 minutes more?
One more question regarding the last question. Do those people can be protected in some special way in special situations? So, for example, if the crisis time is coming and there is a need to grow this team, for example, to, I don't know, call 80% of them to do something, do they can count on some special protection during this time, for example?
Okay, we are going into classified stuff a little bit, but just a food of thought, this kind of unit, as military says, is a high-value target. and in the certain situation, it is protected as a high-value target. Because there is a lot of infantry units, but there is only so much people who can do this stuff.
That's all I need to know.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
One small question. From your point of view, what is more challenging to find a guy who is able to go through the clearance formal procedure, or to find an export? Because I think that the clearance validation in your country might be complicated, because I believe that majority of companies has some businesses with the let's say eastern countries.
We have an experience problem in Latvia with that we have people who work with the eastern countries, and they have like business trips every month and so on and so on. But I would say, especially in Poland, you need people. You don't need to bring in. You say this guy is really good, but well, he has some problems. But we need him. Don't do that. The first thing is his patriotism and clear record. Don't go into the area that you are putting someone in the basement and, like, let's say, you don't go to jail and and go do that. This is not this voluntary organization is not for that. I don't know what the security agencies do. I have no comment.
Hello, my name is Mateusz. I have a question about law regulations in your law. Do you have any special permissions to work with your team or not?
In our law of the National Guard, there are 10 main tasks, and one of these tasks, which gives us the authority, is to support, to resolve or mitigate incidents in the cyberspace, to support CERT-LV and the National Armed Forces. And coming from this level of the law level, there are other regulations and manuals and standing operational procedures who come from that. Yes, we have managed to put this through our parliament, and we have this regulation in our law.
Because as I understand, you are helping also some companies or private sector.
Only through the CERT-LV. Because private company, if something what they do is critical, they're in trouble. First they go to the CERT-LV. If CERT-LV is not able to help them, they need more resources, and this is a critical thing. I want to be clear. We are not trying to go and help every private company with their administration. No, we are talking about the stuff that is critical for the existence of the country. So they go to the CERT-LV, they evaluate things. If they are not able to help, they can call us.
So are you not afraid about people who are volunteer for you, that they can even do worse because they have some special access to critical?
Yeah, well, this is what I said. It's on an invitational basis, on the mutual trust. I don't see the scenario that a bank would ask for help. For example, the institution of banking, they will never release this information, of course. And the banks, if they are major banks, they are critical infrastructure. So this is a challenge. But I believe until the last moment, they will try to find the resources and ways how to do it for themselves.
Okay, thank you.
Do you think that it's possible that your team will be involved in the critical infrastructure protection, assuming that this infrastructure protection is private? For instance, you have a massive attack against the banking system.
Right? Yes. Okay. Yes. Banks, people don't have possibility to take money, to pay for food. They don't have water. They don't have heat. They don't have electricity. We are just like a force provider when everything else which is built for everyday situation fails. We are just preparing for the, hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Have you formally identified these owners of the critical infrastructure? Do you have a formal list?
Yes, and the owners of the critical infrastructure, there's a list of them, and they are managed for by the National Security Authority in conjunction with the CERT-LV. But I don't know why, because it's obvious which is critical infrastructure or not. But in Latvia, a list of the critical infrastructure is also classified. That doesn't make real sense, but they did that. Yes, please.
Hi, my name is Vladimir. I work for HP, application security analyst. Basically, with the requirement of having a clear record, aren't you afraid that the attackers that will attack your critical infrastructure without this requirement will be just better technical specialists than those who will have a clear record and will work for you? Already, defending is a lot more complicated than attacking. So, do you have any thoughts on tackling this issue?
Well, and I'm not saying this is a restriction. This can be restriction. But all the other things which comes with the not clear record is a huge problem to involve people in the protection of the state. There is no way to resolve that. This is my opinion. Because this can be true, maybe not, and this is a restriction for our unit.
Okay, I think that's probably the longest question and answers session I ever heard, thanks to our last presenter. Anyway, once more, the interest is big of the topic, I see. So once more, tomorrow before the lunch, we've got a discussion, we've got panelists, and we will investigate the concept and present some ideas for concept of how to do it in Poland, if it is such interest. And of course, all these questions and great presentation will help us to have some ideas about our case. So thank you very much to Gatis for this presentation.
Thank you for listening. Stay strong.